Good morning. This is Dylan Giovanni with Behind the Markets. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, June 29th. 2 days left of the month. July starts the 1st on Wednesday, July 1st. Look forward to getting into that with you. Today, I'd like to talk about a sector that has gotten its butt kicked, and it's a sector that we've been long and have a lot of positions in, and it's kind of a tale of two cities. On one side, it's the best of times. On the other side, it's the worst of times. And those of you who've been with us for a while have felt the pain on all of it. The defense sector. So, while all the AI stuff and the tech stuff has been going great and money's been going there, the defense sector, a part of it, has gotten its butt kicked. It's gotten its butt kicked, genuinely speaking, especially the smaller companies in the defense sector. And it's interesting, very common. So when you look at our model portfolio, let's say in Breakthrough Wealth, you look at some of the stocks that we recommend. It seems like the bigger ones have done great. The smaller ones that have gotten their butts kicked, they've done great too, but recently they've gotten hammered. They've given back like half of their gains, and you know me, guys. I ain't the type of guy that's going to ride something all the way back up, all the way to ride it back down. That's just not the way I play the game, unless I actually believe the reason it's coming down is short-term and silly. And I think over time, the thing is going to be worth a lot more, but it's painful. It never makes you feel good when you're doing that, no matter who you are. Anyway, so what's happening here in the defense sector is, first of all, Trump came out with an eye-popping $1.5 trillion budget request for the Pentagon, which is great, especially when you think of the companies that we've recommended in our area. You know what I mean? Like you think of AeroVironment, AeroVironment. I mean, my God, their Switchblade loiter munitioning drones and counter drone technology. I mean, that is hotter than heck right now. And yet the stock is still down. It's kind of a tale of two cities with AeroVironment because, look, revenue is up 143%. because of an acquisition they made for BlueHalo, which gives them a lot of these drones and a lot of next-gen kind of stuff, but it's not flowing. They have balance sheet challenges where they're working through. And I'm looking forward to the next call, the next report to see how they're addressing some of these. You got to be able to take that kind of revenue growth and really turn it into a net, obviously, or it's not worth it, Kratos is really, it's like an emerging prime. Kratos is like an emerging prime, like an emerging Lockheed, drones, hypersonics, Golden Dome, adjacent, which the Trump administration just tested this week, or we at least got the news this week. So they are very well positioned. They are doing great, really great. But again, a lot of money has flown out of these smaller names because of either valuation, in Kratos' case, okay, euphoric. Again, it's a good lesson for what's going to happen with a lot of these tech stocks, okay? A year and a half ago, Kratos was selling at whatever, right? And now it's cut in half, right? And it's still the same company, and it's actually stronger now, way stronger now. But the herd moves into things and then gets a little spooked and moves out of it. And you can say to yourself, wow, the AI boom is going to continue. $7.5, $8 trillion boom. But stocks you can see them over time. This might be an $8 trillion boom, but it might be stretched out from 5 years to 10 years, which would really shrink the profit profile of these companies, So why are a lot of these great companies, Leidos, Kratos, AV, getting hammered? And by the way, the rest of our defense sector, like the big ones, L3Harris, ICO, Northrop Grumman, they're just killing it. But why is the defense sector like this getting hammered? Part of it is two things. And I want you to think about it this way. A $1.5 trillion defense bill, budget proposed. But especially after this Iran thing, there are a lot of questions about what that money should go to. There are a lot of questions, There's a big chunk of people in Congress who want it to go to old platforms. There's a big chunk of people in Congress, especially in the military, especially people like me, David Petraeus, anybody who actually studies this at a decent level, and, obviously he's a master, but, studies this at a well level and realizes that we have to completely redefine our military. So a lot of what is happening now is negotiating the transition between old weapon systems that we still need, because you just can't junk your entire military, right? Can't junk your entire military and say, oh, we're going all for drones. That's ridiculous. You have to manage a very complex transition. And that transition is not only based on AI, it's not only based on what you can do, it is also based on what your competitors are fielding. You have to prepare to go against the weapons your competitors have while you keep an eye on really growing. So all of the companies in our portfolio, they are next-gen companies. They are amazing, amazing companies. But, this is what we call a secular bear. It happens in a long-term bull. I think the kids in crypto call it a crypto winter. Secular bear, long-term bull. My thesis for all of these businesses hasn't changed at all. I think that's great. Come on, long-term defense spending in the West is going up. Even think about Europe. We recommended a bunch of European stocks on the play there that they were reindustrializing. Now that basket case of a continent can't seem to agree on direction. So, all that money might flow back into American contractors to do it. So this game is still being played out. And the people that are running the military industrial complex with Congress, et cetera, they are actually stopping to debate how they want to design the future. They haven't really quite settled on that. And what I mean by that is teasing out and arguing out and negotiating where resources go, Because again, any idiot can say, we're going to spend $1.5 trillion on defense. If you spend that in the wrong area, you really doom our country. If you spend that all on 20th century platforms, you doom our country. If you spend it all, the increase on new drones, and you don't realize there's a critical security flaw, you doom our country. So you have to really tease out, and that is happening with the think tanks, the military, people in Congress, all the pork, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just being patient. I have not seen a breakdown in the fundamentals of any of these companies yet. Or, these are ones that I married, for the long term. And as you could see, some of these companies like Kratos has bought out the bulls now. JP Morgan coming out and saying this thing is getting ridiculously cheap, and other firms starting to say these are getting funny cheap. Anyway, that's all I have. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.